Alright, we're going into map number 2. It is Twisted Meadows and ToD has changed colors here, so this time it's going to be orange versus yellow. And ToD is spawning in the top left spawn position of Twisted Meadows, going for the fast build on the altar. So we're pretty sure going to see an AM and a fast creep at the Goblin Laboratory, probably followed up by a fast expansion. And DowaQ in the bottom left is changing his build order here. He this time is not going for Crypt Altar in the beginning with the Ziggurat after having 4 Acolytes, but for Altar Ziggurat with the Crypt after having 4 Acolytes. So he's gonna have his DK out as quickly as he can get it, given that he's undead and cannot speed build his altar, of course. And in return, his ghoul production will be delayed. So yeah, he's gonna hope, obviously, for ToD to spawn up here with his laboratory close to him, with this fast DK being able to do some decent harassment against the greedy creep of his opponent, but that's not the case. So yeah, we'll see how well he's going to be doing with this quick DK. Barracks is coming right now as well for ToD, so everything as expected. And DowaQ with the second Ziggurat as well. And he's even sending out the ghoul here extremely early on, so he's probably... I mean, he's gonna scout this one here pretty quickly, and then he'll at least know that his DK can start by running towards the middle, and by the time he's gonna be here, he's gonna be at ToD's main base with the ghoul, and therefore he's gonna know which direction to go in with his DK from here. But to get to the more important point, perhaps, he still has 0 lumber right now. His second ghoul has spawned just now, and with this super early ghoul scout and the slightly delayed crypt, his tech is going to be extremely late here, and therefore he's gonna have to do a lot of damage early on if he wants to basically, well, justify that investment. So yeah, the ghoul is arriving here right now, knows exactly what's happening, but at the moment he cannot go in here because he'd get ensnared and killed. XP-Tome and Lionhorn of Stormwind for ToD, who has barely taken any damage on anything thus far. Now one of the militia might get into trouble. No, it's surviving as well. So everything... Okay, now, just as I said, it's being taken down by the priest. So everything is looking decently so far for ToD. His tower is coming just now. So there's, of course, a little bit of a drawback from this early creeping in terms of economy. But yeah, with the XP Tome, with him being so close to level 3, that is certainly worth it. DK is coming in right now from DowaQ. And he... yeah, is finishing one of the low HP peasants, so 2 have been lost so far for ToD, who is spending a lot of time chasing down this ghoul. Is it going to be enough for level 3 for him? No, it isn't. So, yeah, quite the curious investment here, and he doesn't get the XP. Speaking of getting the XP, DowaQ is probably going to get some more XP for another peasant here, which is even being coiled down here. I think he would have gotten the kill here, or even without using the coil here, just by having the skeletons around to deal the final blow. AM is coming back. These skeletons shouldn't really be able to do all too much. Lumber Mill is coming right now for ToD, so yeah, he is clearly preparing for the fast expansion. DK is gonna have 2 more coils remaining. He's gonna have to stay a little bit careful. He's maybe even gonna get it. No, he isn't. Skeleton's sword was very close to chopping down this peasant here with the final hit, but doesn't get it, and therefore ToD is getting a little bit closer to level 3, but DowaQ has not been lazy in the meantime. He has pulled a bunch of ghouls, continues creeping as well. He's gonna get the level 2 here, and is gonna pick up an item, and then probably take his healthy ghouls and head towards the top of the map to continue harassment ring protection only, unfortunately for him. And tech has been started in the meantime, as I said, way later than it could have been. And thus far he hasn't done insane loads of damage, but perhaps he is going to do so just now. ToD is creeping his expansion here. Should at least be finished with the Ogre Magi by the time the Undead arrives. The 1 Ogre Warrior is definitely going to be down as well. DK is slightly too late here. Energy Pendant for the AM, very good item. 1 of the Ogre Warriors is going to the DK though, who's gonna have 2 more coils available here. And let's see how many of those peasants DowaQ is going to be able to pick off. The first ghoul has to be pulled back. The first 2-3 peasants are already low. The second ghoul is being coiled in time here. So far, no ghouls have died. The DK yeah, just ran into that surround, and ToD immediately is closing it, and I guess he's gonna have to town port near level 2. Wow, he's waiting so long just to try and get perhaps another peasant or two killed, but it looks like he's not gonna get a single peasant killed, so should have TP'd there way more early on. Now he's... well, let's see, is he buying potions? Getting a third cigarette, graveyard. He's not getting a potion here. Scout peasant, well, sees that tier 2 is soon to finish. That's going to be a bit of a relief for ToD. He has lost a couple of peasants here once again, but it's not nearly as bad as it was on Echo Isles. And therefore, as long as he stays around here and keeps defending and makes sure that he doesn't lose even more peasants on top of things, I think he should be fine here, especially with that late tech of his opponent. So it's going to be such a long time. I mean, there's still tier 3 that has to be researched, and the destroyer upgrade before destroyers can come. So ToD has plenty of time to prepare. DK does get boots here, no healing at all, and he's going to go ahead and continue pushing. ToD is prepared though. He can spawn another water metal here just to have even stronger focus fire against these ghouls that are going to come in and most likely gonna go for more kills on the peasants. So that seems to be the strategy by DowaQ here. Once again, delay the expansion by as much as possible, deal as much economic damage as possible here, and two peasants have already fallen. He's getting a good angle against all of them actually. A third peasant is falling, and it looks like he's gonna get at least one more. One of them is only surviving, but this time also a bunch of ghouls falling. The last peasant for now has fallen. 2 militia have already been called, and with this town hall being so close to finishing, yeah, these 2 militia are going to be able to do so in just a second. And he's getting the Naga second again. That is a curious choice here. DK needs to pay attention, because last time when he did it, the expansion was not nearly finished yet, and he had plenty of ghouls to work with as well. This time he only has 1 ghoul, and ToD has like 5-6 footmen around with the level 2 water metals and the AM, and I don't really see this Naga dealing all too much damage at the moment, and I don't really know how well of a choice this Naga is going to be come late game, given that right now he shouldn't really be able to do anything with her. Perhaps he just wants to stall ToD around his own bases for a little bit longer, because yeah, his tier 3 is coming just now. 1 slaughterhouse only thus far. He does have the resources for a second one if he wants to get it. He has to fall back right now though, due to the low HP DK and the Naga, which is really not able to deal any damage here at all. Boots of speed have been passed to the Naga, so I guess that made sense if he planned to get the Naga eventually to begin with, to just pick up the boots of speed initially to have her being able to use those. But yeah, ToD is not playing DowaQ's game. He doesn't allow DowaQ to pin him down to his own bases, and he's going for some aggression here. Tier 3 is a little bit more than halfway done, so perhaps, or pretty sure, ToD isn't going to be able to force at least a cancel on the tier 3, but we'll see how much damage he's going to be able to do. One thing is for sure, there's not going to be a second slaughterhouse coming up. As long as ToD is around DowaQ's space here, DK needs to really pay attention to not get surrounded here, but it looks like ToD has other goals here, namely getting some acolytes killed in the back. The DK has bought him a heal potion in the meantime. ToD chasing one of the statues. I think that's a mistake. He's wasting quite a bit of damage output here against the buildings with his water metals and his AM. So far, none of the acolytes have fallen. One of them gets coiled. The second one gets saved here towards the left-hand side and microed away. But I guess now it is finally going to fall. But tier 3 is almost finished. So DowaQ is soon going to be able to reproduce a bunch of acolytes. Second acolyte has also fallen here by the looks of it. Tier 3 is about to be finished, but a third water metal spawned here by ToD, so he is about to continue applying pressure. In the meantime though, the majority of his footmen seems to be gone. Another statue, or the first statue to be more accurate, has been taken down, but one of the water metals fallen as well, and there's only one remaining at the moment, and these 2 footmen are not going to get all too far as well. So it looks like DowaQ has taken way less damage here than he could have, but at the same time ToD has won plenty of time here, and given that there's still only 1 slaughterhouse, which is just now starting to research the destroyer upgrade, the potential of a strong destroyer push shouldn't be all too great here for the undead player. ToD in the meantime is going tier 3 already. Does he have a shredder? Yes, he has a shredder already. Ah, of course he bought it quite a while ago when it was caught here by Naga and DK. But he didn't build any towers. That is really greedy here by ToD. I thought, before looking at his bases, that things should be looking pretty strong. Started his tier 3 tech already, but he didn't build any defenses here yet, and he has a bit to overcome before he has a sufficient load of flying machines, which I'm assuming he's gonna be getting here because, you know, he's going double workshop. But he has only 2 towers here, and he's only gonna have 2 towers at his main base as well. And against the 5 ghouls that DowaQ has here at the moment, which, are they frenzy already? I'm not so sure. Lich is coming, and Destroyer upgrade has finished. We're gonna see a 3rd statue soon. Even against just a bunch of frenzy ghouls, triple hero, and like 3 destroyers, I mean, no towers aren't gonna do it. So he's gonna have a little bit of catching up to do, but then again, he's loading his entire army inside of the Zeppelin, dropping right now here, perhaps to do some more creeping. And DowaQ is just scouting with skeletons, and it's going to be very interesting to see how he's gonna react to seeing that there's hardly any defense here. He didn't scout the expansion, so he doesn't know about the defense at the expansion, but he was heading towards the left-hand side here, and I think now he's turning around towards the top after scouting what's going on here inside of ToD's main base. ToD, yeah, still has the skeleton around. Mountain King, soon to be level 2. And yeah, he's morphing the destroyer. He's going for it. Lich is joining the army as well. He's got an orb. 2nd destroyer is coming. 3rd destroyer is going to be coming as well. But the Zeppelin drop by ToD is going to be happening at the same time. So I guess the best thing that can happen here to DowaQ, or the thing that's going to happen here, is DowaQ can easily break this. There's no chance that 3 towers and... what, are there any flying machines even? Like 2 flying machines, they are never gonna hold this, but then he's gonna have to TP back and defend, and that's, yeah, going to be the aim for ToD, to just force the town portal, because there's no way in hell that DowaQ has the damage output to kill this castle here. Wow, just hold on. But DowaQ doesn't have a town portal, so this is becoming really interesting. And with ToD even having the Scroll of the Beast here, which he apparently found while creeping the mercenary camp, this is going to be very painful for DowaQ not having a TP. He is wrecking the entire economy. This was pretty obviously going to happen. But at the same time, he's losing his Haunted Goldmine. He is trying to repair a little bit, but he shouldn't be able to keep this up in the long run. And yeah, with only 1 Acolyte remaining here, which is escaping right now, Bolt does not kill him. He's gonna have a very hard time coming back into this game from an economic standpoint. He is, yeah, just wrecking everything in the space, but still he doesn't have a TP. So what's the plan here? As I said, he doesn't have the damage output to take down this castle, especially with 2 masonry upgrades. And ToD has still a running mine, whereas he is taking down ziggurat after ziggurat. DowaQ is even supply blocked, so it is extremely lucky for him that this 1 Acolyte has survived, so he even has, or so at least he has a theoretical chance of coming back into this game economically. Now he's heading back with everything he's got, but this is probably going to be too late. ToD, yeah, dropping the AM again here, and yeah, he's just producing flying machines. And yeah, well, what is the plan for DowaQ? This is really, if he had bought a TP, I think this game would have looked a lot better for him. Now TP is coming by ToD. Paladin has joined the army as well, and the Acolyte, yeah, he is gonna have to come back and build another gold mine. DowaQ is selling plenty of items here. He's kept the orb and a big invo potion on the Naga. And yeah, he's rebuilding the Haunted Gold Mine, but he's got no chance of really continuing to harass right now, because if he does so, then ToD is just going to come back into his main base and continue harassing again. So I guess the only chance for DowaQ somehow to stay into this game, or stay in this game, is to get super strong heroes and somehow win a fight against a way superiorly sized army. But how the hell is he going to be able to achieve that? Because after all, this is Twisted Meadows, and there are plenty of creep camps left for ToD to take to get level 3 on his 2nd and 3rd hero very easily, while the AM can just, you know, stay around for like 1 more creep to get the level 5. Whereas, yeah, DowaQ is gonna have to stay close to his main base, and there's not really all too much that he can creep anymore. If he's going for some... aggression again, then as I said, he's just going to be counterattacked or just being fought straight up, because after all, it's still 43 supply for DowaQ. He's sending his destroyers towards the main base to perhaps try and do some more harassment, which is a fine plan. But given that there's already like 20 flying machines in the air, it can backfire very quickly as well, because these are faster than the destroyers and they can easily chase them down if they get overly greedy, and therefore, yeah, DowaQ is just keeping them close to his army, trying to get some more creeping done. So is ToD. He's gonna get level 5 on the AM right now. He's gonna get level 2 on the Paladin. And yeah, the Mountain King isn't gonna get a level up anytime too soon. So we're at 5-2 for the human against 4-3-2 for the undead. 50 supplies still for ToD. He's saving up here, getting a couple of towers. And DowaQ is still rebuilding acolytes. He's got 2 currently. Does he have the bomb upgrade? Yes, he does. And making use of that, sniping another cigarette. And now DowaQ is supply blocked again. He cannot even get another acolyte. And he is just forced to run back right now with everything he's got. He cannot even defend this with only his destroyers. And in the meantime, ToD is going to gain more experience. Very well played here, or by ToD, or at least the follow-up was extremely well done after getting the kill on the gold mine here. And DowaQ is again out of gold. He can either sell stuff, you know, he can either sell buildings or he can sell items. Well, do you really want to sell any of those items? Small invo potion, big invo potion, and the orb. Yeah, he's actually selling buildings. But this is looking beyond terrible for DowaQ. ToD has broken into low upkeep right now. How does he have so little lumber? He's had the shredder for such a long time. I don't know really. Going for the push again, waiting for the destroyers. ToD could just defend here actually. There's no way in hell that he would lose a fight with those flying machines. But he doesn't even need to. And DowaQ again, he doesn't have a TP. And I think ToD is willing to just go for the base trade here, because damage output is still very low for his opponent. He still has 2 masonry upgrades. And DowaQ, yeah, he's gonna lose his main right now. Where are the acolytes? They're hiding up here. He does have the resources to get, well, yeah, he can buy, like, never mind. GG by DowaQ. So yeah, I guess the deciding moment was when DowaQ allowed ToD to go for the drop without rebuying a TP. I think he realized what an opportunity he had to break the base of, or break the defenses of the main base of ToD and wreck the entire economy. And I think that would have been a trade well worth taking for him if he had bought a TP previously, because without that, I mean, you saw what happened. Of course, losing everything in his main base wasn't worth it, but killing the shredder, yeah, he killed the one shredder, and I guess ToD rebought another one eventually, because you know, he lost the one when DowaQ pushed into his main base, and the second one was, you know, just rebought, I guess, a little bit prior to me seeing it. Anyhow, after having that trade in and losing so much and allowing ToD to creep his heroes up and to get a decently sized army and not even forcing him to break upkeep or anything like that, saving up so much gold, getting such a large anti-air army, there was just no way of coming back for DowaQ. Nevertheless, I think if a few things had gone differently, DowaQ could have probably won that game, which should give him hope for the final map, which is going to be Secret Valley.